All right. Kick, an online live streaming platform funded by a crypto casino, is poisoning society in a very clearly indefensible way. So, what is Kick? To put it simply, Kick is a live streaming platform created by the owners of Stake.com to compete with Twitch. Not everyone will know what those companies are, which is fine, but the gist of it is that Stake is a crypto casino. Twitch is the largest live streaming platform currently online right now, owned by Amazon. And Kick is a rapidly growing competitor that is heavily used as a gambling advertisement pipeline. Let's do the whole corporate tree of life thing here and get that out of the way initially. Kick, the platform, is owned by a company called Kick Streaming Proprietary Limited, KSPL. KSPL is owned by an Australian company called EasyGo Entertainment, and EasyGo Entertainment is two-thirds owned by a man named Bijan Tehrani. The other third is owned by yet another company called Ashwood Holdings Proprietary Limited, and Ashwood Holdings is controlled by a man named Edward Craven. This means, in no uncertain terms, that Bijan Tehrani and Edward Craven are the co-founding owners of Kick, as well as Stake.com, which is why this live streaming quote unquote website deliberately brands itself as a gaming platform while inversely operating as a direct and fully unregulated pipeline for the purpose of gambling promotion. Not a great start. Well, those connections have already been known about or recognized openly for quite some time, but what isn't as well discussed is just how bad the platform is getting in terms of general content direction and how pervasive those effects can become on modern youth. Here's the part where I need to give you all a very big disclaimer. I'm not going to show everything that I talk about next. I'll show some news articles, some clips here and there, but a good chunk of it I'm just going to simply say what's going on because I don't want to rebroadcast it. Kick has become very heavily advertised as a platform that avoids unjust moderation. That sounds really good in theory because Twitch has horribly dropped the ball when it comes to objectivity versus creator favoritism. But in practice, it has quickly turned Kick from a video game centered experience, which is really just a pipeline to get more people gambling, into a cesspit of illegal and unethical behavior for the sake of money and fame. The streamers on this platform, not all of them, mind you, but a significant portion well beyond what any platform should ever be fostering, are doing things like directly grabbing food off of someone's plate at a restaurant as they walk by, and then threatening to beat her up when she gets upset over it. This was a literal child doing this, who would later do things like grab a joint on the street from a random person and smoke it live on Kick. Oh, and he didn't get suspended for any of this. He only got suspended after a verbal altercation with another Kick streamer in which they threatened each other with physical violence, sexual assault, and doxing. The other streamer, the one threatening the child who was harassing him, yeah, he live streamed a vehicular hit and run in a rented supercar. Reckless driving, leaving the scene of a crime, and this is just content for streamers on Kick, perpetrated by some of the most popular high viewership broadcasters on the entire platform. Want more? Okay. One broadcaster's camera person decided to just steal an Uber driver's phone during the broadcast and throw it in the street, and she has not yet been removed from the platform. Another streamer, Kick streamer, showed themselves stealing the tips out of a jar at a restaurant. He has also not been removed. One streamer blackmailed another streamer, a 19-year-old with autism, threatening to leave him in a foreign city if he didn't perform certain moderation actions and ban particular people from the chat room. He also perpetrated what I would consider to be animal abuse live on the platform, threatened to shoot other streamers, and is also accused of having sex with a woman in front of her child, barely outside the frame of a separate broadcast. Another streamer directly convinced a homeless woman to jump in a lake. The homeless woman could not swim, and then laughed about it, running away as a fire truck pulled up to go try and save her. After imitating herself shoving the woman into the water, she says, quote, "You should just jump in right now." And then 10 seconds later, "I didn't tell you to jump in," as if she didn't just live stream all of it to thousands of people. As if that's not already horrifying, multiple streamers, count them, multiple, have created their entire broadcast around chatting with random girls on the internet, some of them under the age of 18, convincing these girls to get naked for them or flash them, while sharing all of it on a live broadcast, and then further sharing it in private chat rooms for their friends in Discord. That is distribution of underage content. It is highly illegal as well as disgusting. I should be clear, that's not just one particular instance, and I'm also not showing any of it. This was a pattern of content for multiple streamers who did this for many, many months. Some of them actually verified on Kick during that time frame, and they only got suspended after massive amounts of backlash, which had itself only happened because other creators called them out. No, that's not enough? Okay. Two famous broadcasters, for whatever twisted reason, hired an escort live and secretly filmed her, tried to film her rather, because it didn't get far enough for them to actually go through the whole broadcast, tried to film her secretly with their friend in a different room. When she tried to leave, someone blocked the door, and during this broadcast, CEO of the platform, Ed Craven, was in the chat room posting laughter emojis. The CEO was posting laughing emojis in a chat room where two of his larger platform broadcasters were secretly attempting to film a prostitute that they hired. Just let that sink in for a minute. As you do that, let me show something else in the background. This is Kick, the homepage. I am not currently logged into the platform under any account. And if you go to a broadcast in the slots and casino category, which is a mature 18 plus area of content, I get this right here, a warning. You must be 18 plus to watch this content. Cool. However, I can just click start watching. That's it. There is no actual comprehensive age verification on this platform, which is corroborated by a now ex-employee who recently came forward with her experience working there, and the stuff that she shared is horrifying. Here's an example. She alleges that Kick offered a well-known streamer named Kaidi a worse offer because she got diagnosed with cancer, and that they thought they could get away with that because she would probably die soon and may want to leave more money for her family. That is evil, and some of it gets difficult to prove without inside sources in the company. It's allegations from a former staff member. But something that isn't hard to prove is this. Kick has a section of their TOS, their terms of service, that says, quote, any use or access to the service by anyone under 13 or under 16 in Europe is strictly prohibited and in violation of these terms, end quote. And yet, their staff members are openly promoting broadcasters who are 11 years old. Their own ex-employee alleges that she was the reason this child was initially suspended because they don't allow, technically, as per their TOS, anyone under 13 to use their services. And yet, now that she's gone, he's been allowed back on the platform against their own terms and is even being directly promoted by staff at the company. It's insane. Now is the part where I talk about some unrelated, but also very much deeply related statistics and round out the picture. Kick has been growing massively since it first debuted, becoming one of the top 200 websites in the entire United States with over 200 million monthly visits. 38% of their entire audience is classified as 18 to 24, but there's no actual effective restriction, and the platform deliberately allows children under the age of 13 to break their TOS with no regard. These stats simply don't measure the number of kids watching this content, some of them learning to think that it's cool to harass random people or perpetrate crimes for fame. And that realization takes on whole new meaning when you realize the state of modern digital access. I'll stick with the United States here for the moment, where the issue is undoubtedly worse, but the problem itself is global. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, over 95% of households containing children ages 3 to 18 have home internet, with over 90% of them enjoying internet access through a computer in particular, and that was in 2021. Keep in mind, the number is only ever rising. According to data from Norton, while parents self-report that they are regularly educating their children on how to safely access online content, 66% of them, at least for the United States, these numbers fluctuate slightly on a global scale, trust their child to browse the internet unmonitored. This means that nearly all households containing 3 to 18-year-olds have internet access, and 2/3 of those households allow these children unmonitored access, while platforms like Kick are rising in popularity tremendously as they distribute gambling content, criminal activity, and overall degeneracy to an ever-increasing audience under the banner of live streaming. Let's be very clear. I'm not arguing that people can't access criminal content or inappropriate material elsewhere online. I'm not arguing that this is the actual worst place on the entire internet or a leading cause of society's problems. I'm arguing that children often look up to streamers and seek to emulate their behavior. For better or worse, Twitch streamers, Kick streamers, and live broadcasters in general often amass a follower base of almost exclusively children who seek to emulate their behavior, or emulate all behavior that they observe, and then proceed to broadcast social activity purely for the sake of profit, popularity, and fame that should never be emulated by anyone. This problem appears to be pervasive to the very culture of Kick itself as it continues to gain market share, catalyzed by a complete degradation of critical thinking and building itself higher and higher by quite literally poisoning society around it. I didn't even say all the different stuff that goes on there. I didn't mention the streamers who are getting arrested and locked up in other countries abroad for disturbing the peace or causing problems. I didn't talk about the boxing matches between men and OnlyFans models in backyards so that a girl in a bathing suit can get knocked out by a full grown guy on a live stream for entertainment in a disgusting display of cultural rot. And I don't exactly feel the need to keep giving examples here because at a certain point, when you advertise yourself as a place where people can get away with doing things that would and should otherwise get them suspended on any reputable platform, you are embracing a reality where you are the problem. Your brand is the problem, and the harm you cause is by far greater than any benefit you have ever or will ever provide to the world. In my view, all things considered, Kick has earned the label of societal poison, with its undisputed position as the worst mainstream live broadcasting platform out there, where children and adults alike are perpetrating crimes, infecting the world around them with moral degradation. And parents, honestly, shout out to all the parents that watch me because this is a good one to watch. I suggest you actually do go check what your kid is watching on that iPad and make sure it's not Kick. Anyway, that's it. If you want to support the channel, there are links down below. A special
Okay, so I didn't get to finish what I said in the last time. You guys have to know sometimes I just cut it off immediately for some other in particular reasons. So, the reason why Kick is honestly poisoning our society is basically because of the fact that there are a lot of unhinged streamers. Say streamers who were racist, homophobic, transphobe, everything that just spells the most stereotypical gamer on the planet that just can't help themselves but think that unhinged content is funny just shows why Kick is always going to be the primordial of how to not run a Twitch or escapade, as I like to call it, Twitch alternative that can't be run properly. That's what I call it. Like the fact that people on Twitch are always gambling, they're always teaching their audience how to be unhinged and bother people. Like anyone who finds about Kick, the CEO has endorsed this type of content. You guys do realize that, right? So if you're endorsing this type of content, you have to understand that's the only way how to really roll around Kick, you know? Like if you're basically gonna sit there and be unhinged, that's all the platform is for. You're just supposed to commit crimes. You're supposed to bother people. You're supposed to piss others off. That's all Kick is. But now you're gonna ask me, why the fuck am I on Kick? I'm on Kick because I need opportunities. That's the only reason why you should be on Kick is opportunities and an alternative platform. I don't like sticking with one streaming platform. That doesn't work for me. I like to push out multiple platforms, multiple areas of the world. Like I said, social media is about opportunity, not foolishness. Not being that one dumbass that says I'm gonna stick on Twitch because it makes me a lot of more it makes me a lot of money and yeah, no, just do both platforms. Now, many of you also know that the Kick CEO, once again, as I've always mentioned, endorsed the one thing that I personally do not like. And he did it anyway. So, I didn't get to finish what I really said. There is a PD file named Suspendus. Now, we've already done a video on Suspendus. We said what we wanted to say about him. We talked our shit, spoke our facts. So just know that this guy, I don't like using this inappropriate word, but he definitely forces on women. So he did it to a Japanese minor at one point on stream, getting her to drink when she was technically almost passed out. Put his lips on hers, and you can probably see the image for yourself. I'm good off of that. Just know it's some sick, depraved shit. And at one point, there was a guy on Twitter named Cancel Johnny. He's a Japanese dude. He was doing basically shit about streamers, in particularly from foreign countries, like mine, foreign to his at least. And these were some nice guy gaming toxic ass streamers that Cancel Johnny actually exposed. And most of the time people will ignore him because, you know, they don't want to believe it. They like unhinged shit. Again, the problem with us gamers is that we like unhinged behavior. And then we also wonder why women don't fuck with us. And then I have to explain the one thing that they don't even want to hear. Women don't fuck with us. Or let alone, how about this? The opposite sex does not fuck with us, not because of our weirdness, as I explained in another video. But they don't fuck with us because of the fact of our weird, obsessive, unhinged behavior of disrespect and disregard of those who are dead. We're the only entertainment group that doxes and literally goes out of our way to ruin everyone else's day. And then we wonder why we're hated and not loved. It only makes sense. Like I said, when you're someone that doesn't realize you are the problem, this is how it works. Kick is only poisoning our society is because it's trying to compete also with Twitch, but it can't do it. Twitch may be unprofessional as fuck with the e-girls and, you know, the inappropriate shit, but they honestly, they have more of an instinctual thing versus someone who's making the choice to be unhinged. Does that make any sense? Kick is making the choice to be unhinged, so it's a quote-unquote freedom of speech platform. And Twitch isn't really a quote-unquote freedom of speech platform. At least I'm just going off of the people who keep saying freedom of speech. So, yeah, that's what it is with Kick. Guys, to end this off, there are a lot of niggas out here. A lot of motherfuckers that love being unhinged. They think it's cool until they finally face the consequences and they did nothing wrong. There's something wrong with us when it becomes to doing the unthinkable. It's like it's an instinct. And we need to stop having it be an instinct. It needs to be a realization that our attitudes, the way how we do shit, isn't okay. And see, I'm the only one who would take accountability for that shit. But y'all would be like, what are you talking about? No one doesn't do that shit. That's just one gamer. You can't just be discriminatory towards other gamers. No. This is a gamer thing. We are the only ones who are unhinged for honestly no reason because we think it's funny. And then when we're talking about other shit, we just can't handle it. As in we can't handle it, it's just like we talk about other shit. It'd be like accountability. And then the moment we get into accountability, so then we try to play Einstein games with other people. And I don't even understand why we even do that in the first place. But we do it though. And then we'll try to twist people's words around and be like, so you're basically saying, when it's not basically saying anything. You're just not wanting to listen. It's just as simple as that. But the point is, guys, the reason why Kick is unhinged is because of the people who've also been banned. Those people who were banned on Twitch can finally expose themselves for who they truly are. So they can destroy and be disrespectful for no fucking reason at all. Look, guys, I'm going to leave you off here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Lucy Christian. I am the voice of Otako Uraraka, and you should subscribe to Neusxanity's channel. Peace out!